Welcome to Dare to Be Us. Hi, I'm Ruth, founder of The Corner Pitch and the host of Dare to Be Us. And welcome back to Dare to Be Us. Today's episode is one of those conversations that stays with you. I'm joined by my co-host Joseph Lower from Rowan House. He works in mental health and spirituality, helping bridge both worlds of healing. Our guest is Shona Holzer, a Death Doula who supports people and families through the end of life with compassion and grace. We talk about grief, love, transformation, and what it really means to have peaceful goodbye. Shona, would you be able to tell us what's a doula and what does it do, like what you do?
Well, I'm more of a death doula.
Okay.
Yes. And so I help people transition at their end of life.
Okay.
It's very customizable. It all depends what, the person that's leaving us, leaving the earth, what they want.
Yeah.
So I make it all about them and not what the family wants or, what the law says. People think the law is not always correct. Okay. There's many, many options out there.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about how do you actually do it? Because you're telling us that there's different ways to do it, right? So,
yeah.
I'm guessing like when I had the experience with my grandpa where he didn't have the euthanized. He wasn't euthanized, but he had medication for him to start. Like his everything just shuts down because he just doesn't eat and doesn't drink and things like that. But there was no other option. So
Right.
That's why I'm kind of like wondering what are the process that you have.
Yeah, well, we have a couple different in Canada. We have dying with dignity and MAID. If you want to choose to end your life yourself on your own.
Oh, so there is that.
Yeah,
Here
absolutely.
in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting to know. So, and do you actually do like a ritual or something like that?
Well, it's a whole process. It depends on the person, where they are, where they want to be, how they want to die. We really work on a good death and helping them transition to what they believe. Right? Every culture has different beliefs, and some people think that death is the end and we're all done, and other people think there's something after life.
Transcend. Yes. Yeah. So, have you ever had the experience of another culture that it's not yours?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And how is it? I'm a Mexican, so really I don't know what would it be. I have different, it's just a different way that we do it, right? And especially now that it's going to be death, what's it? Day of a Death. So the tradition is more going towards to the cemetery, and it's just a different thing. And when it comes to someone is dead, it's just having them at the funeral there and be there for a while, and then they either just go to cremated it or. So how is exactly the way that you do it, or within the culture that you?
Yeah, it depends on the culture of the client.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You haven't had any culture that it's not yours.
No.
And so how?
So like that? Someone from Mexico, I would research and figure out, and discuss with them like, what do you want? What do you need for yourself personally? It's not necessarily like what the hospital tells you that you can or can't do, or, like if someone wants to pass away at home, then, they can have their person at home with them for quite a long time.
Wow.
Like a couple days.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And people think that, you got to call 911 and, get the body out of there and get everything going quickly. You don't. It can be a slow, gentle process. As soon as you call 911, the chaos is going to ensue, and you have to listen to EMS, you have to listen to the police, the doctors, the everything.
Wow.
Right? But if you just, it can be as slow and as calm and as gentle and freeing as you want it to be.
Okay. So can you elaborate a little bit on that? How's the process of doing that gentle self as you are mentioning right now?
I'm saying, like, dim the lights, light candles, whatever the person wants. Put on their music. If they're still not, if they're not gone yet, and you're sitting with them like a vigil to help them transition, just, telling them that it's okay for them to leave whenever they're ready. And, I've had friends that hum or sing to their family member. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So tell us, Shona, how this journey started with you. What did you do before you were a doula?
Well, what got me on this path of healing and helping others is I lost my sister and her husband and two of their children in a house fire. And so in the beginning, I just thought, like, if I start crying and I just collapse, I'm going to stay there. And so over the last 28 years, I just keep finding things that nourish me and teach me and help me help others.
Yeah.
And so that's what keeps my cup filled.
That's what it drives you towards this journey, right?
Yeah.
So how did you find your journey within this, emotional situation? And
just that I didn't like the space that my mental health journey was going to take if I dwelt on it. And it would be so easy to turn to drugs or alcohol, any substance, people, or food, or, people turn to things to help them feel better. And I wanted to learn mentally how to make myself feel better so that I could help others in their mental health journey.
How did you do that? What did you learn about your own mental health?
I think mostly I started with yoga. So I took my yoga teacher training, the 400 hours. And then from there, I went into meditation. So I teach meditation. And that really drew me into studying shamanic and Buddhism, and I just love reading and learning and growing, anything that can push my mind to the next level. And so I really felt called to a shaman friend that I had. And so we started drumming and doing a lot of journeying, going to, another level. And I just calls me.
So tell me I'm curious about your journeying and experiences. How would you, I know a little bit about the shamanic sort of pathway. It's very fascinating, but what did you learn from how did you learn about the journeying, and what did you learn? What were some of the benefits that you noticed with yourself and your mental health, so perhaps the clarity you're dealing with, obviously the loss that you've experienced and stuff.
It's just knowing that you can mentally go anywhere you want to go. Right? So it's really a mind, body, spirit. And so when you're journeying through a shamanic journey, you're almost like leaving your body and going to a place, whether you want to go to the upper world or lower world or stay, in Middle Earth. It's just following where your mind takes you, and if you have questions, then, going to that ancestor that can give you those answers, or going to a place. We usually start with like our anchor spot, which is a happy place, right? And you start from your anchor spot and just let your mind go from there. Usually with drumming, like it's kind of monotonous, the drumming, but that puts your brain waves into theta. And from there you can relax and just journey into the ether.
Wow. So it's like what's it called? It's not a dream. It's a astral projection.
Almost. It's like a dream.
But it's an astral projection.
Almost.
So what's the difference? What would be the difference between an astral projection and what you do?
I've never heard of an astral projection.
Oh, okay. So
I think astral projections more. It's kind of psychic where you can be here, you get into that realm, you're able to project yourself, and it could be another country, or it could be Mrs. Smith's house just down the road.
Right.
So you're able to sort of, although your body's not there,
right,
sort of, I suppose your spirits and that aspect are there. So
absolutely.
journeying's a bit more different, where you sort of you go. I mean, how did you find it? Because I know it's you're kind of almost leaving the comfort or what you've known, and then now you're sort of stepping into these other realms, these other areas. Was it sort of a little alarming, or what was your experience?
No, the shaman, my mentor, her name was Cricket, and she is very gentle. Just took you step by step. So we just started with a drumming circle, and with drumming, like in our drumming group, it was in Edmonton in Alberta, and we had like there would easily be over 100 participants.
Wow.
And so with everybody drumming, you start out, it's fairly erratic and chaotic. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the energy comes together and you're in one beat.
Yes.
And it's just like every molecule in your body just wakes up, and you're just like the first time I opened my eyes and I'm looking around going, did we just do that? Like, how did we just come together in one beat? And then it went all over again. And then, it just kind of came back again, and you're just like, wow, what is this? And so that intrigued me, that all of us people with all of our energy, could come to the same heartbeat. It was amazing.
That heart coherence is what I learned, where everyone's in sync, and that's pretty. To start with, it's like rounding up a herd of cats, and then finding they're all, like you said, you get that rhythm, and you can feel it. I presume, it's pretty awesome experience.
You can feel your heart and your breath, and and then just from there, you just let your mind go.
Wow. So how long does it take, or how long is the ceremony?
It all depends. We could drum for 15 minutes or 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had the privilege of attending a drumming circle, like I bought a drum. I felt like a kid because it was a very small drum, boom, boom. But it was that same thing. It was just chaos. It's just like a bunch of children just whacking anything, and then all of a sudden you have that beautiful cohesiveness.
Yes, I was going to say,
and I was like, this is amazing. And then I think, close your eyes, I could feel it in my chest, everything, your emotions, all line. I'm like, whoa. And then it stopped. I'm like, okay, we're having a break, because I was ready to go for a couple of hours. I was like, we got here.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it was a little taster. It was like just the 15 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
But it was pretty powerful. It was.
It is.
So what does the drum symbolize? Why is a drum so important to a shaman?
I always go back to indigenous. I don't know why. I think another life I was indigenous, because I'm always pulled to the medicine wheel and the indigenous way of life.
Yeah. Their culture, their practices. Yeah.
Living in nature, being one, tree hugging, like I do it, I would do it every day if I could.
Right, yes.
But it's just to stop and do it and listen to nature.
Listen, yeah.
So you were telling us, and how just coming back a little bit of the grieving and being a doula, how you hold space for those moments, and and what does that mean for you in terms to heal you? Because I'm guessing that's kind of like healing for you in some shape or form as well when you're doing that. So how do you hold a space for that and for yourself as well?
Well, it's taken, like I say, 28 years to build that. I feel like it's more of a bubble where I protect my own emotional being, and then, you know, to be able to sit there with someone or walk with someone as they're grieving. You know how it feels. And so I mostly just listen in transition. They need to talk, they need to get the feelings out in our grief circles. And so we just listen and share stories.
Yeah. So you were talking about those communities or circles, grief circles that you have. Would you like to talk about those circles?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we facilitate grief and bereavement through Bereaved Families of Nova Scotia. Okay. And right now I have a group in Port Dufferin, and one in New Glasgow, and one in Musquodoboit Harbor. Okay. And it's just to share space and give people tools. So we teach them tools in our 6-week program, tools to deal with their grief. Wow. So there's so, you know, like meditation, breathing. We do emotional tapping to release emotions, and journaling.
Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of things like that, just to help them. You know, people get stuck. And if it was someone really close to you and your heart is broken and you don't know what to do, you could be grieving not only the person, but your identity, your purpose.
Grieving, right? Lots of roles.
Yep. If you've had to move, like your spouse passed and now you have to move, that's you're grieving. You're grieving your future, what could have been.
Yes, I wonder that, you know, people take just grieving as just death, and not like maybe they're not even aware of when they're, you say, like when they're moving, when they're having you know, a separation with the just
a marriage breakdown,
or
anything.
just with your family, right? It can be certain situation where you have to put your boundary and you have to grieve that, right?
Absolutely.
So, and just how is it any different, the grievance, like I know losing a person, like when someone transcends, you know, it's part of that letting go. I mean, I know it's the same, you let go as well a person that it's alive, but is it the same? You see what I'm trying to say? Because for me it's like, okay, I know that person's still out there, right? And it's just really hard to just cut that relationship and not ever talk, right?
Right.
And with the person that is, you know, deceased, then it's like, okay, well, you have to, there's no other way, right? So,
but I believe there is. I believe you can still talk to that person.
oh yeah,
through shamanic journeying. You could journey to that person, get messages from them, you know, light a candle and drum and just ask them to, you know, if you have a question from them or something that's bothering you, ask them to help you see the way.
So have you ever done that for someone?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
All the time.
Yeah. Do you remember an experience that you're like, oh my gosh, this was something I've never lived before?
Well, it's different. If I'm drumming and you're journeying, then I'm just going to be drumming, right? But as the journeyer, you can, like I say, you can spend 2 hours in, you know, going to underground or the upper world, wherever you feel called, or wherever, you know, if you're wanting to speak to your person or just your ancestors in general.
Oh, so that
They
person,
kind of
it's
lead
not like
the way.
it's not like psychic experience or like a medium experience kind of thing. No, it's different. So that person, you help that person to lead the way towards his inner soul to be able to do that. And
Absolutely.
whatever that they want to communicate with the person that has transcended is when they communicate. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that can definitely be part of it. It's completely different for every single soul, right? It's like your soul journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. It is. When you hear the stories of when the people come back, right? You bring them back to this time, this space. Make sure that they've come back to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be guided. Like you can tell someone, okay, you know, you're at a gate and you're going into a meadow of flowers and you see a gatekeeper. Who is the gatekeeper for you?
Oh,
Right.
wow.
And then they start, whatever images start coming to your mind is all part of your journey. So they'll see the gatekeeper, which, you know, probably someone really meaningful to them. And then the gatekeeper will take them, like if you go down underground to a cave or up into the clouds or wherever you want that journey to be.
So what is that key? How do you say?
A gatekeeper? Just, you know, the person at the gate that you're going to maybe do your journey with. So we start out with some basics like your anchor spot, and then maybe your spirit animal or a spirit guide or a kin guide, whoever comes to you. It kind of all comes to you.
Okay.
You just have to have a really open mind and really open heart and just, you know, focus, but not so hard that you're not letting it in. You have to really let it in and let your imagination flow and let spirit come to you. Let your ancestors tell you, like, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. And it can be very, very healing.
Wow. So it's like, I'm guessing, I mean, I've never done it and I don't know.
Ooh.
I've never done it.
Sounds like there's got to be
time for
an experiment.
I know. I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. So
I have 2 hand drums that I handmade.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We did a lot of hand making.
Wow.
And then you waken it up and you bring it life and
Well, I'm here whenever if
I
could have known, I would have just told you to just bring. Yes, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Well, we can do later some like a small video of her just to see an example of what it is, so you guys
can
know
go on a
exactly what
journey.
she's talking about. Yes, that'd be amazing.
Go on a journey and
Take
then
us
come
on a
back and
journey.
tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us where you went.
Have you ever done that journey like that?
I've tried several times myself. You know, it's always difficult. I've never done it with a person, like someone was drumming. Well, a little bit, but not. Yeah, I tend to be sort of. I like to give it a good shot, so I'm happy to spend half a day figuring it out stuff. But I've tried. I've at least got to the point where I can be still enough and I'm receptive, you know.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times I can do that on my own, but it takes a few steps. But not a So I'll be very keen to learn a bit
so
more.
You really haven't really done
It was attempting to journey.
Right.
And I sort of, I've got the concepts, I understand, I've tried it, but it's nice to have a guide. Go figure.
Absolutely.
That's this. And this is where, like you're saying about, is there a gatekeeper there? I'm like, that's what they, making those links.
Yeah, weaving it all together. Because you get all these bits and pieces and see this or see that. And then you're like, what does that mean?
And it's
That's
like,
journaling is very, very important.
Yes.
So when you come out of your journey, to write it all down, everything you can think of, because then over the next week, you'll read it and you'll go, oh, or something will happen. You'll be like, oh, I kind of had a warning, like, don't,
So that could be like in
go
dreams
here.
or visions or something like that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's very active. So whatever happens in the journey, maybe it's a symbol. You might meet a dragon, or you might meet whatever.
Yes.
And it's not like, oh, that's lovely, that was a great movie, and then you move on to another movie. It's like it spills into your daily life. So in a couple of days, yeah, like for example, different symbolism, it comes in this reality, and you realize that there's truth in it. You know, it's something more to sort of explore, and yeah, it's pretty neat. But a formal journey, not so much. But I'd love to. It'll be
It can be life altering.
Yeah. It's
like when I met my spirit animal, I didn't even know what it was going to be or anything. Like I didn't, go, oh, I want it to be, whatever, a wolf or something. I want something. And it was a lion, a big male lion. And he came up to me and I could feel his breath.
Wow.
He was smelling me and I could feel his breath, and tears just started running. Like I didn't even know why. And I was just like, but I could feel this hot breath and he's smelling me. And I was
amazing.
Like,
wow. Yeah.
And I just came back from that like, wow.
Yeah.
And it's things like you can't really tell anybody. Like who can you tell? They're going to think, what? You went off into Neverland and met a lion and you could feel its breath, and it's very...
Yeah. You have to be very selective in who you share it with.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
But
once somebody goes on a real journey, it's almost addictive.
Yeah,
like,
it's transformative. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that once you do it, you want to keep doing it more and more and more.
You want to explore. It's like exploring. Like I found this cave that I always go down into, and I have an ancestor that's always at this fire down in the cave, and I'll ask her, I call her grandmother, and I always ask her questions all the time, like, grandmother, what would you think about this? And lots of times she doesn't say anything and just sends you off down through the cave or back up out, and then you see. So she shows you visually.
Wow, that's amazing. So how did you connect with that? That ancestor? It was something that you discovered when you were doing that trip, or well?
Yeah, just on one of my journeys. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you were saying about having an animal, and which is a tiger or a lion?
Mine was a lion.
Oh, a lion. So
Yeah.
what does the lion mean?
They have different representations in all kinds of cultures. So I think what it means to you, right, is what my lion means. Strength to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So when you met your spirit animal, how did that occur? Like, tell me the experience.
Well, it was a specific journey.
Yeah.
Right. So we got our drumming circle together, and it was like, beginning shamanism 101 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, okay, today you're going to find your anchor spot. And so then, like that's what I do for people is I take them to that place and they figure out where their anchor spot is. Is it in a mountain or on a lake or in a cave or wherever you feel called to be, whether it's from a past life or, whatever your intuition kind of guides you to. Yeah. And so you start at your anchor spot, and from there, you usually go off on your journey. So we light a candle so you can always see your way home. You always come back to your anchor spot. So whether you're being chased by something and, you get back to your anchor spot so that you're safe and calm, and then we bring you back to this space.
So basically, the anchor spot is your safety spot. It's your spot. It's the sacred spot that you can kind of go. It's almost like go within.
Exactly.
You're going within. You've got that solid anchor spot. It's yours. It's safety. Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a great place to start. Really.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we learn to create that spot so that nothing else can permeate it. Right? Nobody can come back with you. No spirit can come back with you. You know, we build that anchor spot so that it's your safe place to start and to end. You always want to come back to there, all by yourself, without any spirit or ancestors. Leave them all in their space.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there like a possibility that they can come with you, or what were you?
I've heard, you know, you hear all different stories, so I just protect myself and protect my peace.
How do you protect yourself like that?
With the anchor spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, is that's the safe place where you come back to alone, to come back to,
and it's
to
your
this
space.
reality.
Okay, sorry, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, nobody else has to be part of or even know of your anchor spot. It's your soul spot where your soul feels the safest to come back to.
So I've heard some other podcasts, right? I listen to a lot of podcasts, and most of them are spiritual in so many ways. But one of them, they were kind of like explaining that they had, or they did this like a group to apparently these people is just getting messages and they are resonating, you know, like people right now that the information is out and it's more at hand. It's kind of like getting related to that that it's real, that it's not you're going crazy, right? And it's out there, it's a reality, and whether we like it or not, right? So so these people were sitting around and they were doing as well some I don't know if it was just the drums or if it was something else, but I think as well they were singing, I think, in like a meditation.
Yep.
And so they explain that they can see themselves there, their souls, and it's like a reunion that they have there in another plane. So do you know, can you explain a little bit about that? Do you know anything about that? How does that work?
Oh, I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories, and people have, you know, seen a past life. Say you've always had a gut ache, like, you know, for the last decade, your gut just aches, and you've tried to figure out why. And then all of a sudden, you know, you've journeyed and you went to a past life and you were shot in the stomach in like the 1400s or whatever, right? So I've just heard so many stories like that are just like, wow, you know?
So how did they get to a past regression with hypnotherapy?
No, just through journeying.
Just for journeying.
Yeah. I've never done like hypnotherapy or.
Oh, I had a session a few months ago, and I was having a pain right here, and I didn't know why. Well, I mean, I had her there. I was throwing something, and from there, I kind of like started having a little bit of pain.
Yeah.
But it got worse. And until I did that regression where it seems like someone actually, you know, I think it was an hour or something like that, and it was here. So yeah, I think that's pretty amazing. But it was through hypnotherapy, right? Hypnotherapy.
So that puts your brain waves in the same place, right? In that theta.
Yes.
That's where you're trying to get your brain to go, not think about, oh, your grocery list or what you're making for supper.
No.
Like everybody says, oh, I can't meditate. I can't stop my brain. Then you need to do something guided and either do like a mantra, humming, or, you know.
I mean, vast
ways.
majority of people, you know, if you ask them, it's like, oh, can you get into a relaxed state? They'll be like, they wouldn't know how to do it, right? So it's like a flexing that muscle.
Yeah.
Relax. You can do it through breath, and the hypnotherapy often, you know, once your system's relaxed, you're not going to be in fear. It's the complete opposite process, right? So the idea, if you go into it in a relaxed state, you're more open, And then when you're in that hypnotic state, again, you're in that theta brainwave, brain activity aspect. So that's where hypnosis is great, because it kind of bypasses the critical self and the sort of the defense mechanism a lot of people have. So you're in that beautiful subconscious. You're able to access the subconscious. So in some ways you can bypass a defense mechanism. It could take 10, 12 sessions with a psychotherapist to sort of, and they're like, oh, we made some grounds. But there's a lot of, our minds are pretty concrete. So but if our heart's in that sort of coherent place, when you're listening to your heart, the heart waves are much higher than the mind listening, emotional listening. So, but it's a skill. It's not, I mean, vast majority, if you look at modern day life, we're not taught to sort of, oh, let's sit, let's relax, let's breathe in. No, that's really interesting. I'm training to be a cognitive behavioral hypnotherapist. I've done a lot of cognitive. Absolutely love it. The hypnosis is a really good tool. Like if the barrier is fear is a big one. Yes. You get them relaxed, you introduce them to hypnosis, and then they're like, oh my goodness. It's like, you get to do that every day yourself. So once they got the skills, it's incredible. And there are different tools and techniques where you can access that.
Exactly.
And then the main goal is relaxation. If you can teach the client, whoever, it's like, okay, they're stressed, you've got a deadline to meet. I do self-hypnosis. I'm done in 4 minutes. It's so quick once you know the sort of process. But it's not always the great, oh my goodness, what a relief. And then that catharsis, that release, that emotional release where you come to a realization, or there's a stuck point that you've had, and then you're no longer stuck. But it does happen. But a lot of the time it just feels so natural. It's almost like, did anything happen? But the subtle changes in how you perceive things, how you feel, it's incredible. Because
if you're ruminating, you're kind of staying in that rut, right? And it just keeps looping around. So if you do something completely different, get out of that ruminating, that's been my goal all along, is to learn something new, do something new, and try it, but with the open mind and and open heart. Because if you're set against it and you're like, which I've always done with hypnosis, when I see them on the stage and stuff, it's like, what a crock, like there's no way, right?
But
when they make it like with a celebrity, and they make it all, it feels so staged. But I would love to try that too.
It's it is, because for entertainment purpose, it is it's all about how suggestible people are. How, some people are, they're easily influenced, and just by the process of like, okay, we've got these tickets, we've got a stage hypnosis, and people are like all excited. Only a certain population will be interested in it, and so a good chunk of, say you had 1,000 people, and then by the time they actually get to the stage, again, it's very clever, but it's working with the suggestibilities, how suggestible, how flexible they are in their sort of thinking. And some people are just like pretty rigid, and it takes a lot longer to sort of have the benefits. But some of it is certainly very entertaining, but for areas where people are stuck, like chronic depression, just especially chronic negative racing thoughts, it's very clever.
Thank you so much for joining us for this heartfelt talk with Shona Holzer. Her work as Death Doula reminds us that even in endings, there can be peace, meaning, and connection. And this isn't the end. Shona will be back for part 2, where we'll go deeper into her rituals, spirit animals, and the ways we can keep our bonds alive beyond this life. Until then, Take a breath, hold space for yourself and others, and remember, dare to be you, dare to be us. Goodbye.